Isaacsonio Mortoniad, composed in a major key. Arma birosk cano. Wake, heavenly muse, to hear the tuneless yell of infidelity and Israel. Mortonian mists the embattled field befog, whilst Carlo barks from sheltering synagogue. Beware, conservative, the hostile too, the learned atheist and the vengeful Jew, with frothing mouth and fact-destroying lance. Observe the radicals in pomp advance. Their thoughts, their speech, and e'en their press are free, for folly oft appears as liberty. With Whitman's word, the soaring sails they fire, and cast upon the foe their native mire. Impetuous Isaacson, in roaring rage, mixes the marks of every precious age. The quaint Dan Chaucer and the good Queen Bess to his blind hate and equal age confess, while heedless Raleigh nods to Handel's chords, as Lovelace from his prison cell applauds melodious Herrick's ghost. With boundless scope, lives on and wears the periwig of Pope. Nursed thus in chaos, it were vain to dream that captious Charles could pen a scholar's theme. His sneering honey soit que mal ye pence, he fathers on the cynic court of France. Yet let us not at his crude scribbling smile, when he but boasts of his unfashioned style. He laughs at learning and leads on the day when scholarship will earn the name of play. Drunk with his freedom, worldly he indicts. Now, obeisance for obeisance writes. Since art and letters have no power to please, in politics his nerves he seeks to ease. Here is his oriental fancy dazed, with din 1,000 demagogues have raised. Amid the noise, the loudest shrieks he heeds, and gobbles hook and line the rabble's creeds. All men are equal, let us have no kings. How tritely thus the well-worn sentence rings. All races are alike despite their hues. Raise hook-nose, octoroons, and woolly Jews. Let Afric ape with Aryan combine, and sink the white man in a mongrel line. Thus the mad Saxon, whose rabid pace would plunge a mighty nation in disgrace, his empty freedom and his Negro lore, he seeks to lay at fair Columbia's door. But let not our dignity degrade. Columbia was by sturdy Saxons made, whilst the brave Semite loud of freedom cants. Against this freedom he, forgetful, rants. Eternal license for himself he pleads, yet seeks restraint for his opponent's deeds. With the same force that at oppression rails, he'd bar the Jeffersonian from the males, when outraged George from the law breaks free and hangs some murderer from a friendly tree. Should not our hero with his praises fill the echoing air and sing the people's will? Bluish, sweet consistency, Judea's child, with hot hysteria waxes monstrous wild, apes Don Quixote with his fuming mind. Whilst Goodwin, like poor Sancho, rides behind one vile assassin and his proper fate. To Isaac's son condemn a sovereign state. But though with fury filled his valor shrinks, when on the sterner side of life he thinks, however natural, whatever their cause, With sobbing sigh he mourns the wicked wars, careless of honor, void of saving sense. He begs the land to banish its defense, like Christian saint to turn the other cheek, and injuries from bolder neighbors seek. Too proud to fight, he hopes for war to cease, and welcomes insult as the price of peace. From peace to luxury, the step is slight, and Venus reigns when Mars withdraws his might. Thus the soft Isaacson to war opposed finds wondrous charms in Paphian lines disclosed. Though duly shocked by riotous Vanbrugh, he reads the artful Whitman through and through. And when the sober try his taste to cure, he shouts that vice, if unashamed, is pure. When crafty Whitman admiration draws, with loftier flights and rugged conscious flaws, the willing Charles dilates his eager throat, and swallows at a gulp each faulty note. He thrives on discord, and the witless lay to him grows great, if form be cast away. Thus did old Walt the force of folly see, and gilded brazen trash with novelty. So vanish Isaacson, declaim no more, but turn thy fancy to rabbinic lore. Sound now the trumpets, and awake the drums, for matchless Morton in its chariot comes, the dean of darkness, wrecker of the church, crowing with scorn from his exalted perch. Great Antichrist, the friend of reason's rule, who looks for reason in the churlish fool, who fondly dreams a rabble can be swayed by fine abstractions saints have disobeyed. But search not Morton for the vulgar fault, nor scan his page for awkward phrase or halt. Whatever your talent and however you feel, he forms a foeman worthy of your steel. His steps, though wild, a subtle charm attends, and art to him unnumbered graces lends, and he insults his polish soothes the pain. His polish soothes the pain, and victims undisturbed as friends remain. Thus privileged great Morton's force is spent on those who favor while they still dissent. He lauds the Negro, and the Negro shines, as long as we sipped, wrapped o'er Morton's lines. When the stern rays of truth our minds awake, we weep that such a sage could error mistake. So venerated Morton rules the skies, and pleases when he means to patronize. Shall we complain when such a pen appears to shake our doctrines or excite our fears? Shall Morton's thunder rouse vindictive ire, or shall we smile uninjured and admire? Thus from the window, undisturbed and warm, we safely view the grandeur of the storm. The raging blast sent earthward to destroy is watched and studied with artistic joy. Loud thundering Morton shaking land and sea parts socialism from the raging anarchy. In dumb discretion we his word admit, one's but the brink, the other's the pit. If such a dark region's tyranny could own, while might they seat King Morton on their throne. And now farewell with unconfounded mien, we watch the mighty atheist quit the scene. Soon will his shafts to other targets fly, as some evangelist attracts his eye. Though like a bull at us he plunges one day, tomorrow he'll be goring Billy Sunday. And without some of the language per se, mixing isn't quite the answer. And there's people that don't take part in war themselves, but provoke war between other people and uphold the injustice of one nation or one movement and criticize all the others like they're the ones doing it. And of course there's the false Semite thing. That's certainly an issue, is that being a Jew and being a Semite's not the same thing. And how the secularists are moved towards, whoever's agenda.